The Milford High School student who was detained by ICE on his way to his volleyball game this past weekend has just been released on a $2,000 bond. 18-year-old Marcelo Gomes da Silva was being held in a facility in Plymouth, Massachusetts. Now, at the beginning of this week, federal authorities went to immigration court requesting to move Marcelo from Massachusetts to another facility in Rhode Island. Now, at this hearing, it gave his attorneys the opportunity to speak with him. And they found out that he had been sleeping on the floor, a concrete floor, with like 25 to 35 other men, twice his age. They were not allowed to shower. Marcelo was also experiencing health issues while there. So the attorneys were able to have him moved to solitary confinement, at least to give him a little bit more space. And then today, a federal judge had released him, but on a $2,000 bond. Now, what will happen next is by June 16th, the federal government has been given that amount of time to respond, and we'll see where this case goes. Now, Marcelo originally came to the country with his family when he was 7 years old. They came from Brazil. He originally came on a visitor visa and then later got a student visa. Now, that student visa had lapsed, but this entire operation was targeted for his father. And the reason ICE was targeting his father was supposedly, according to the Department of Homeland Security, it was because his father had a record of driving 100 miles an hour. So, which later Marcelo's attorneys are now finding out that that's really unclear and they don't believe that to be true. So it really seems as though ICE is just going out into the communities and finding whomever they can. They need the numbers. This is just unbelievable. We will see what happens with this. Of course, I will follow this story. The courts are saying that this is probably going to take months despite the June 16th hearing, which is the next court date. But thankfully, this boy is out. He was more concerned when he was being detained about how his volleyball team was doing in the playoffs, and he was concerned about taking his finals. This is a teenager who has strong roots in his community. He has deep roots. He's in the marching band at school. He's never gotten in trouble at any school or with the police. He's in the band at church. You know, DHS says that they want to go after criminals. Why aren't they going into areas or situations where there are criminals? Now, yes, of course, criminals can hide amongst all populations everywhere. But to go after these kids left and right, they're arresting kids. This is disgraceful what's going on in our country. I will keep you updated. Please like, follow, and share so that I can continue to provide you with content. And I appreciate you being here.